गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः. Canto 2, Chapter 1, Text 12. Kim pramattasya bahubhi parokshirhayanayriha varam muhurtam viditam ghatate shreyase yatha. Kim, what is pramattasya of the bewildered, bahubhi by many, parokshahi inexperienced, haya nahi years, iha in this world, varam better, muhurtam a moment, viditam conscious, ghatate one can try for, shreyase in the matter of the supreme interest, yataha by that. What is the value of a prolonged life which is wasted, inexperienced by years in this world? Better a moment of full consciousness, because that gives one a start in searching after his supreme interest. Srila Shukdev Goswami instructed Mahārāja Parīkṣit about the importance of the chanting of the holy name of the Lord by every progressive gentleman. In order to encourage the king, who had only 7 remaining days of life, Srila Shukdev Goswami asserted that there is no use in living hundreds of years without any knowledge of the problems of life. Better to live for a moment with full consciousness of the supreme interest to be fulfilled. The supreme interest of life is eternal, with full knowledge and bliss. Those who are bewildered by the external features of the material world and are engaged in the animal propensities of the eat, drink, and be merry type of life are simply wasting their lives by the unseen passing away of valuable years. We should know in perfect consciousness that human life is bestowed upon the conditioned soul to achieve spiritual success, and the easiest possible procedure to attain this end is to chant the holy name of the Lord. In the previous verse, we have discussed this point to a certain extent, and we may further be enlightened on the different types of offenses committed unto the lotus feet of the holy name. Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhu has quoted many passages from authentic scriptures and has ably supported the statements in the matters of offenses at the feet of the holy name. From Vishnu Yamal Tantra, Srila Jiva Goswami has proven that one can be liberated from the effects of all sins by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Quoting from the Markandeya Puran, Sri Goswami says that one should neither blaspheme the devotees of the Lord nor indulge in hearing others who are engaged in belittling a devotee of the Lord. A devotee should try to restrict the vilifier by cutting out his tongue, and being unable to do so, one should commit suicide rather than hear the blaspheming of the devotee of the Lord. The conclusion is that one should neither hear nor allow vilification of a devotee of the Lord. As far as distinguishing the Lord's holy name from the name of the demigods, the revealed scriptures disclose that all extraordinary powerful beings are but parts and parcels of the supreme energetic Lord Krishna. Except for the Lord himself, everyone is subordinate. No one is independent of the Lord. Since no one is more powerful or equal to the energy of the Supreme Lord, no one's name can be as powerful as that of the Lord. By chanting the Lord's holy name, one can derive all the stipulated energy synchronized from all sources. Therefore, one should not equalize the supreme holy name of the Lord with any other name. Brahma, Shiva, or any other powerful god can never be equal to the supreme Lord Vishnu. The powerful holy name of the Lord can certainly deliver one from sinful effects, but one who desires to utilize this transcendental potency of the holy name of the Lord in one's sinister activities is the most degraded person in the world. Such persons are never excused by the Lord or by any agent of the Lord. One should therefore utilize one's life in glorifying the Lord by all means without any offense. Such activity of life, even for a moment, is never to be compared to a prolonged life of ignorance. Like the lives of the tree and other living entities who may live for thousands of years without prosecuting the spiritual advancement. Text 13. Text 13. Khatvango naam rajarshir ज्ञाते यत्ताम इहायुषः मुहूर्तात् सर्वमुत्सृज्य गतवान अभयम हरिम. Khatwanga, King Khatwanga, Nama, name, Raja Rishi, saintly king, Nyatva, by knowing, Iyattam, duration, Iha, in this world, Ayushaha, of one's life, Murtat, within only a moment, Sarvam, everything, Utsrujja, living aside, Gatavan, had undergone, Abhayam, fully safe, Harim, the personality of Godhead. The saintly king Khatwanga, after being informed that the duration of his life would only be a moment more, at once freed himself from all material activities and took shelter of the supreme safety, the personality of Godhead. A fully responsible man should always be conscious of the prime duty of the present human form of life. The activities to meet the immediate necessities of material life are not everything. One should always be alert in his duty for attainment of the best situation in the next life. Human life is meant for preparing ourselves for that prime duty. Maharaj Khatwanga is mentioned herein as a saintly king because even within the responsibility of the state management, he was not at all forgetful of the prime duty of life. Such was the case with other Rajarshis, saintly kings like Maharaj Yudhishthir and Mahārāja Parīkṣit. They were all exemplary personalities on account of their being alert in discharging their prime duty. Maharaj Khatwanga was invited by the demigods in the higher planets to fight demons, and as a king, he fought the battles to the full satisfaction of the demigods. The demigods, being fully satisfied with him, wanted to give him some benediction for material enjoyment, but Maharaj Khatwanga, being very much alert to his prime duty, inquired from the demigods about his remaining duration of life. This means that he was not as anxious to accumulate some material benediction from the demigods as he was to prepare himself for the next life. He was informed by the demigods, however, that his life would last only a moment longer. The king at once left the heavenly kingdom, which is always full of material enjoyment of the highest standard, and coming down to this earth, took ultimate shelter of the all safe personality of Godhead. He was successful in his great attempt and achieved liberation. This attempt, even for a moment, by the saintly king was successful because he was always alert to his prime duty. Mahārāja Parīkṣit was thus encouraged by the great Shukdev Goswami, even though he had only 7 days left in his life, to execute the prime duty of hearing the glories of the world in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. By the will of the Lord, Mahārāja Parīkṣit instantly made the great Shukdev Goswami, and thus the great treasure of spiritual success left by him is nicely mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 14. Tava petar hi kauravya saptaham jivitavadhi upakalpaya tatsarvam tavadya samparayikam. Tava तवापि एतर्हि कौरव्य सप्ताहं जीवितावधि उपकल्पय तत्सर्वं तावद्यात् सांपरायिकम्. Tava, your api also etarhi, therefore Kauravya, O one born in the family of Kuru. Saptaham, 7 days, Jivita, duration of life, Avadhi, up to the limit of Upakalpaya, get them performed. Tat, those, Sarvam, all, Tavat, so long, Yat, which are Samparayikam, rituals for the next life. Mahārāja Parīkṣit, now your duration of life is limited to 7 more days. So during this time you can perform all those rituals which are indeed all the rituals which are needed for the best purpose of your next life. Shukdev Goswami, after citing the example of Maharaj Khatwanga, who prepared himself for the next life within a very short time, encouraged Maharaj Parīkṣit by saying that since he still had 7 days at his disposal, he could easily take advantage of the time to prepare himself for the next life. Indirectly, the Goswami told Maharaj Parīkṣit that he should take shelter of the sound representation of the Lord for the 7 days, still remaining in the duration of his life, and thus get himself liberated. In other words, everyone can best prepare himself for the next life simply by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam as it was recited by Shukdev Goswami to Mahārāja Parīkṣit. The rituals are not formal, but there are also some favorable conditions which are required to be carried out as instructed hereafter. Text 15. Antakale tu purusha agate gata sadhvasa छिन्द्यात् असंग शस्त्रेण spruham dehe nuye chatam. Antakale, at the last stage of life, two but Purusha, a person, Agate, having arrived, Gata Sadhvasa, without any fear of death, Chindyat, must cut off, Asanga, non-attachment, Shastrena, by the weapon of Spruham, all desires, Dehe, in the matter of the material tabernacle, Anu, pertaining, Ye, all that, Cha, also, Tam, them, at the last stage of one's life, one should be bold enough not to be afraid of death, but one must cut off all attachment to the material body and everything pertaining to it and all desires thereof. The foolishness of gross materialism is that people think of making a permanent settlement in this world, although it is a settled fact that one has to give up everything here that has been created by valuable human energy. Great statesmen, scientists, philosophers, etc., who are foolish without any information of the spirit soul, think that this life of a few years only is all in all, and that there is nothing more than death, that there is nothing more after death. This poor fund of knowledge, even in the so called learned circles of the world, is killing the vitality of human energy, and the awful result is being keenly felt. And yet, the foolish materialistic men do not care about what is going to happen in the next life. The preliminary instruction in the Bhagavad Gita is that one should know that the identity of the individual living entity is not lost even after the end of this present body, which is nothing but an outward dress only. As, as one changes an old garment, so the individual living beings also changes his body, and this change of body is called death. Death is therefore a process of changing the body at the end of the duration of the present life. An intelligent person must be prepared for this and must try to have the best type of body in the next life. The best type of body is the spiritual body, which is ordained by those who go back to the kingdom of God or enter the realm of Brahman. In the second chapter of this canto, this matter will be broadly discussed. But as far as the change of body is concerned, one must prepare now for the next life. Foolish people attach more importance to the present temporary life, and thus the foolish leaders make appeals to the body and the bodily relations. The bodily relations extend only to this body, but also to the family members. The body relations extend not only to this body, but also to the family members, wives, children, society, country, and so many other things which end at the end of life. After death, one forgets everything about the present bodily relations. We have a little experience of this at night when we go to sleep. While sleeping, we forget everything about this body and bodily relations. Although this forgetfulness is a temporary situation for only a few hours, death is nothing but sleeping for a few months in order to develop another term of bodily engagement, which we are awarded by the law of nature according to our aspiration. Therefore, one has only to change the aspiration during the course of this present body, and for this there is need of training in the current situation of human life. This training can be begun at any stage of life, even a few seconds before death, but the usual procedure is for one to get the training from the very early life, from the stage of brahmacharya, and gradually progress to the grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas orders of life. The institution which gives such training is called varnashram dharma, or the system of sanatan dharma, the best procedure for making the human life perfect. One is therefore required to give up the attachment to family or social or political life just at the age of 50 years if not earlier, and the training in the Vanaprastha and Sannyas ashramas is given for preparation of the next life. Foolish materialists in the garb of leaders of the people in general stick to family affairs without attempting to cut off relations with them. Thus, they become victims of nature's law and get gross bodies again. According to their work, such foolish leaders may have some respect for the people at the end of life, but that does not mean that such leaders will be immune to the natural laws under which everyone is tightly bound by the hands and feet. The best thing is therefore that everyone voluntarily give up family relations by transferring attachment from family, society, country, and everything thereof to the devotional service of the Lord. It is stated herein that one should give up all desires of family attachment. One must have a chance for better desires. Otherwise, there is no chance of giving up such morbid desires. Desire is the concomitant factor of the living entity. The living entity is eternal, and therefore his desires, which are natural for a living being, are also eternal. One cannot therefore stop desiring, but the subject matter for desires can be changed. So one must develop the desires for returning back home, back to Godhead, and automatically the desires for material gain, material honor, and material popularity will diminish in proportion to the development of devotional service. A living being is meant for service activities, and his desires are centered around such a service attitude. Beginning from the top executive head of the state down to the insignificant pauper in the street, all are rendering some sort of service to others. The perfection of such a service attitude is only attained simply by transferring the desire of service from matter to spirit and from Satan to God. Hare Krishna. वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.